going on, guys? My name is Brandon and welcome to Audio Addiction, where you can find the latest album reviews, you can find our band interviews, and you can find live coverage of the concerts that we get. I will be posting a live set of Hearts Like Lions that will be going up really soon. Owls will also be going up very soon. I know I was supposed to post it this weekend, but just things came up and just were busy, so I wasn't able to do it. But look forward to that. Also look forward to a bunch of album reviews, and I might be releasing something special tomorrow or Friday. I'm not entirely sure, but it's going to be really big, and I hope you guys are excited for it. So if you enjoy what we do, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also make sure to hit that like button as well. It really does go a long way. So tonight we're going to be talking about My Lonely Heart's new record, Voices. I don't know if you feel a thing, but just know that this is breaking me. So, if you're familiar with this channel, you know that My Lonely Heart is no stranger to this channel. I did do an interview with them probably at least 6 or 7 months ago now at this point. But they're a great kind of pop punk alternative local band that is just a part of the New Jersey scene, and I really have been digging them. We've become all close friends because of that, and I go to a lot of shows in the scene, so I do see them very frequently. But this band's comprised of Dee. She does lead guitar, and she also does vocals as well. Chris, he also does vocals and guitar, and then TJ also does vocals and bass, and then they just added Joey, and he plays drums. However, he did not play drums on this new EP, but he will probably be in future releases and things of that nature. So thank you to Chris for sending me this over. Sorry it's a little bit later than expected, but some things came up, but I wanted to overall do it anyway. So I'm going to go through all the tracks, give you my thoughts on it. I'm going to give you some pros and cons, and then I'm going to give you an overall rating. So the first track on the record is called Untitled. It has a cool little soft sort of guitar intro to it. I really enjoyed that. I think the chorus is a really solid chorus as well. I like the balance of both TJ's and Chris's vocals in the chorus as well. I think it's cool. It offers a cool dynamic as well. It offers really good harmonies as well. And then just tonality wise, they're both different in terms of how they sing and stuff like that. So it's a cool juxtaposition between the two. I think it's a cool little balancing thing, like I've been mentioning. But I feel like you don't hear that too much in like pop punk sort of alternative, where like they're both constantly kind of singing at the same parts. So definitely enjoyed that. I think that's a new kind of thing, at least for me, but I really enjoy it. I think it makes their sound unique without a doubt. So I feel like the intro definitely felt like a little bit too long. It felt like it took a little bit long for just the track to take off in general. It just felt like I don't know, it just felt like the intro was just a little bit too long for me, but otherwise I think it was a really decent opener. And I feel like it was, I feel like this latter half of the track definitely finished off more strong than the beginning. I feel like just not tonality wise, I just felt like it just felt too long at the beginning, and it just was a little bit off-putting. But once we got into like the first chorus and the first kind of verse parts, it definitely got better without a doubt. So we're gonna move into track number 2, which is Bad Luck. This one's one of my favorite tracks. Really liking the drum and bass intro. I think that's really cool. I always like that little touch there. This one definitely has those sort of pop punk happy vibes. Chris has been telling me that they're going in more of an alternative rock direction, but I like that they haven't kind of lost their roots at all either, because they did kind of start out as a pop punk band. So I definitely like that influence in that regard. Another really solid chorus as well. Really liking the gang vocals in the chorus as well. I feel like it kind of adds a little bit more depth, adds another layer to the track, which I overall enjoy. I definitely feel like the bridge was neat. It definitely has more gang vocals in it as well, but it's really solid. It sounds very full. A really cool guitar solo from Dee as well. And I just like this one overall in comparison to Untitled. I feel like this one just feels a little bit more together. It definitely is one of those tracks that will get you going. I don't know if they played this one live yet or not in their set. I know they have played another track, which I'll be talking about in a minute. But this one I think would be a great track to add into their lineup. It just adds that sort of nostalgicness to their band, but as well as kind of keeping to what they're gonna go for into the future. So we're gonna move into track number 3, which is "The Fear of Breaking Up." This is the first single that I heard. It's also the first single that they released as well, and they have a music video for it. So I'll try to leave it at the end for you to check out. Really liking this switch between Chris and TJ's. I think it offers a lot of dimension, like I've been mentioning, and then just the harmonies are always a great additive as well. So I really enjoy that. I think Dee's vocals were definitely a nice little touch as well. I know she did do some singing previously on the previous record that they did, but I do like that they're incorporating her as well. I would love to do maybe even do like have them do like a 3-part harmony. That would be kind of insane. And that was in that regard would be cool. This one definitely has more of that alternative rock feel. I like that they have a mix so far. It's been kind of, I wouldn't say all over the place, but I like the differences of the different types of influences and the different types of pulls that they're getting from. And you can definitely tell that in a lot of these tracks. A lot of the tracks, especially this one, I feel like this one has a lot of diversity to it. I definitely like the cool kind of breakdown esque part, and I thought this TJ screams were cool. I always thought they were really neat as well. You don't really hear that a lot in, I guess, alternative music too much. I'm not saying like metalcore or post hardcore. I'm just saying like pop punk sort of stuff. So that's definitely drawing from other influences as well. So I really enjoyed that. So we're gonna move into track number 4, which is "Arson." I would probably say this one is the heavier one on the record. I feel like track 3, 4, and 5 kind of have those heavier vibes to it, while they aren't all like just straight like like pop punk or whatever. Or I mean punk at least. But it's definitely has those sorts of vibes to it. I really like the variety as well. I feel like that's a really solid strong point for this track as well. I also like how you can hear all of their vocals distinctly. You know which one's Chris singing, you know when TJ's singing, you know when D singing. So I really think that's a cool little additive as well. I feel like they did a solid job on this track. I also enjoy the sort of key change as well, towards, I think it was towards the latter half of the track, but I think it's really solid. It was definitely something that wasn't expected, but it turned out very well. So we're gonna move into track number 5, which is "I Guess I'm Moving On." I really like this one as well. I think the riff in this track is really cool, especially the intro sort of riff. I think that's really solid. I'm really liking the tonality of Chris's voice in this track. I like how he's not going like super, I guess, gritty, if that makes sense. I like how in certain parts he has a sort of like more melodic sorts of tones to his voice as well, which I really enjoy. I feel like the harmonies slash kind of gang vocals in the pre-chorus were definitely a cool little touch to lead into the chorus. Really liking that the bass line is a little bit more at the forefront in this track. I feel like it kind of leads the track, especially in the second verse. You can tell that the bass is a little bit more relevant in this track. There's definitely a cool little bridge part. I think it starts off more slow, and then it becomes more melodic, and then it just gets way heavier after that. I like this sort of nice breakdown-esque part at around the 320 mark as well, and I definitely feel like this is probably the most diverse track off the EP without a doubt. So we're gonna move into the last track number 6, which is "Passenger Seat," and this features CJ Riel. Right, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, but CJ, they're a good friend in Cardinals. They're really solid. If you haven't checked them out, you should as well. But this one's one of my favorite tracks as well. Really liking that diversity of this one as well. I think that I've always had a soft spot for softer songs slash kind of stripped back songs. I always love hearing those sort of, just the difference of in comparison to like a really heavy track, in comparison to like a light track. You can really hear the differences in just how they do things, and just how it's arranged and stuff like that. It's really solid. I like the harmonies in the chorus. I think they're really solid as well. I think CJ was definitely a great feature on this track. I feel like his voice definitely fits very well with the overall aesthetics of this track as well. I like that they kind of went a little bit more rock in probably the bridge part, and then they kind of brought it slow to the end. But I definitely say this one's a solid track, and I think it's a great way to close out the record. So I'm gonna get into some pros and cons of this record. Pros, I feel like they definitely did a lot more diversity than the last record, without a doubt. In terms of just, they've grown up. I definitely feel like sound wise they've changed for sure, and that obviously reflects in the music, so that's cool. I definitely appreciate that. I also like the differences of influences, where it can go from a really sort of heavier part to a more melodic part to even like acoustic tracks. Just the diversity within that as well. I think it's been really solid. I would say this is definitely a solid release for them for sure. The only con that I have is I feel like it feels a little bit. I don't know. It just feels like it lacks a little bit of polish to me. It doesn't have that sort of like, oh man, this sounds great. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it kind of needs to be roped in and needs to be a little bit more polished up. It just feels like a little bit rough around the edges, which could be a good thing. Maybe that's what they were going for. But for me, I like it more, a little bit more polished. I feel like it needs a little bit fine tuning, and things of that nature. So in that regard, I feel like it was just a little bit unpolished, but sonically, I enjoy the direction that they're going in. So my overall rating for My Lonely Hearts Voices EP, I'm going to be giving it an 8.4 out of 10. I think it's definitely one, if you haven't already checked out, I will try to leave a actually, I'll just leave the playlist for their EP. It's up on YouTube. If you want to pick it up on Bandcamp, that'd be great. I hope to be seeing them when they do their EP release show in about a couple weeks. So definitely be stoked for that as well. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the My Lonely Heart EP. I know they're kind of an unknown band if you don't live in New Jersey, but if you don't live in New Jersey, I think you should check these guys out for sure. They are good friends of the channel, and I definitely feel like if you like alternative rock, if you like pop punk, this will definitely be up your alley. So, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure to hit that like button as well. It really does go a long way. We also have a merch store, so if you'd like to pick up a t-shirt, or anything of that sort, definitely be on the lookout for that, and definitely pick something up. That would be mighty fine of you guys if you could. I hope to be getting some new designs up for the summer and things of that nature, so I will be working on that as well. So my name is Brandon. We hope you got your fix, and we'll be talking with you soon. Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com, and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.